this video. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. You can follow me on my Instagram and my Facebook currently. So I'm going to bring them down one by one. I'll bring them down one by one, because that way it's easier to put them back up afterwards. I keep shifting all the gunk out of my throat, it's really annoying. So, here we go, the Midland Foreman HST. Or not. Don't know what's going on now. Just going to step over the camera so I'm not stepping on it. This should go up tomorrow. And then Thursday should be a normal short video of the castles. I've heard some news about them in recent times of drivers and staff of GWR of the castle sets, HST trains. They are being taken off of the railway very soon, and from the Plymouth to Penzance run they're going to be taken off the railway basically, and yeah, sad times. I know that means times have changed and things are going to have to move on and so on, but it's a shame because I was really hoping they will actually keep them for the 50th anniversary sets, because they're supposed to be running next year, I think. Although, personally for me, if I was the owner of those trains in real life, I would say being the owner of such trains and then have the privilege to own them, that's a different story. But yeah, if I was in the situation I can able to do that, I would. Now, track is thingy as well, which is a little frustrating, but we're working fine. There we go. What's the downside? Well, the downside to have a train pushing the coach around means she gets knocked up in place. However, just left her train behind. It's not very fair. Like, I can pick a coach up. Lazy train. You're not going anywhere until you pick your train up. Yeah, so these are my passionate trains, and this is one of my most expensive ones in my collection at the moment. However, that is going to change. Might be at the end of this, well, towards the end of next month, I may be getting cross country HST, but I haven't decided fully yet if I'm going to do it or not, because obviously I do want to go away next year, and I would like to go on this train again next year to whatever route it does do next year, and I will be doing it again, to go on it again for next year. That's my plan. As a day trip again. I think it would be quite nice to do one going into Wales, then going into York, because I know for a fact they do a run going into South Wales every now and then, every once a couple of years. And yes, I know a lot of people say on that train line in Wales that they actually a lot of people like it. A lot of people like the South Wales line. What does she slow down? Well, you can make it go faster. I couldn't really find that and go too fast. What's that grinding? Oh, that grinding is, before I carry on now, run around the layout for you, is the coupling on the, well, I think that could be it. However, it may not be that particularly. I think it was on the trading card what made that noise, not the power card. I think it was on the back one. Was it on this one? Kind of. Oh yeah, it's that. You hear a weird clicking sound every now and then. It's to do with the track. Or, you know, they classify it as a train with a clip. That's what the clicking is you can hear when she goes around the corner. It's that noise. It would sound a lot worse, but because these connections are not live, they don't have any activity in the ends at all. In real life, she would be powered at the back, but in model form, she doesn't need to be that powerful, because obviously she's pushing only the one coach of hers at the moment. However, I will be getting another one very soon. Hopefully next week I'll get the next coach for her, and she'll be doing two of her coaches with two ends. So yeah, you hear a strange clicking from her. It's coming from that coach of the training car of the Midland Foreman. She wouldn't be doing it otherwise. That's because of her train. It's to do with that back connection. It's catching on the fuel tanks. That's what they're called. They're called fuel tanks. They're the pressures of the fuel tanks on the train. Has she been running in? Yes, she has. Very much. And I know for a lot of people say to me, will you run in more? My answer, no, not really. Because obviously she has been run in, she doesn't need to be running again. She's already been running. The track is a little bit old in places, and that's one of the reasons why she is the way she is at the moment, because of the connection on the back end. However, while she's running around, I'm going to get to the next train out, ready to end. I don't mind this being half an hour to about 45 minutes. I don't mind that. Because I want to bring out some of the extra food tonight. Not all of them, but I'm going to try to bring out a few of them ones we don't really see as much of. I think we did a video not too long ago, but it wasn't the best quality one. So we're going to bring out First Great Western for the next run, and then we might move on to East Midlands or maybe East City. We'll see. and then maybe one more before we move over to the Class 58 or one of the other sets. So we'll get some more close-up shots of her before we'll take her off and she'll go back up on the shelf and join her friends. And slow down a bit now. Half the tree behind. Yeah, I mean, and what I'm going to do is show you from passing by the camera at different sides, just a couple of rounds on this side for you, and then we'll move on to the purple one, which a lot of people seem to be fond of. I mean, obviously I did see those coloured ones quite a lot when I was younger, but the ones I really remember, which I will bring out, I think I'll bring her out as the last one to run before we bring the Class 58 out for a run tonight, because I think that'll be quite cool. We haven't had a run with the Class 58 for ages, so might bring her out. It's one of the last trains to run this evening, especially for this short video. Currently 11 minutes. Hear that buzzing? A lot of people say, what's the buzzing about? That's a question that I don't know. I don't know what the buzzing is about, but it's always on the train car. What's she like? I mean, overall. Well, as I said, overall, she's a nice, beautiful train, she is. But the thing is, I'm seeing a little few flaws in between with her. This one, she's a little bit temperamental with her connection between the coaches and herself with her ends. Now, I don't know if I'm just unfortunate with this one making a very strange kind of pitch whine sound, or those fans are either operated in DCC. Listen to that. The back end is not actually doing anything, the power car is not doing anything. If I bring her slowly round to the corner, we'll slowly bring her around, or not. Come on, bring yourself around. Nope. Yeah, let me show you this down the straight this time. It's in there. This chip in here, watch. Give her slow speed. See that? Now what's that about? Please, someone tell me. I mean, I'd love to know what's causing that buzzing sound. Is that the DCC chip? Or is this to the controller? Hear that noise? It's sort of whining. I'm going to bring her closer to you and zoom in if I can. I personally don't think this is normal for a train of this price should be making that buzzing sound. Please let me know if you think this is normal for the Midland Pullman HST train. in model form. Is this post making that noise? Or is it a fault with the chip? Or what? Because I haven't noticed it until the last few weeks, well, since I had her. In the last few days since I got her last week, she's been fine. But ever recently, over this week, at a certain pace, that kicks in. And I'm trying to think what it could be. Is it to do with the fans? If I let it go, she will go flying off the railway. And obviously that's not what I want to do. But yeah, she's got acceleration. I'll show that again. The coaches are... yeah, she's got massive acceleration. Given the chance to let her go, she's got power. But obviously, as I said before in my previous videos with the HST trains that I own, yes, I own 6 of them, but over time I'm seeing there's little faults with this one. They're only minor, but they're enough I'm noticing it, and that means I'm noticing it in a way that it makes effects when on the train car. Every now and then I see the fans basically every now and then there's like the buzzing comes back, and when she's on, just turn the lights flickering. Watch. As soon as she gets dragged, there's a buzz. Now I want to know what is causing that, because personally for me, I don't know what's causing that buzzing. She's going slowly like this. She doesn't make much noise at all. But as soon as you give her a bit of acceleration, it makes a lot of noise again. Now, I have no clue what that's about. Please let me know, because I'm clueless. I really am. I mean, these are my passionate trains. Every single one I own are my passionate trains of the HST fleet, of whole 6 of them now. So, yeah, it means this unusual one that I hear, and obviously there's a bit of scraping on that side. The HSTs are my number 1 favourites, and people always seem to comment in my older videos and say, what about your steam train, your taffy tank? I still have her. She's still up on the side on my shelf. She needs some work done, really. Same with the pannier. Those 2 trains need some work done to get them working efficiently again. And yes, she's going to be running at some point, hopefully later this year, because I am going to do another video on the taffy tank. I know some people are really fond of the taffy tanks, and I'm quite fond of that particular one, because obviously the taffy tanks are unusual, but again, it's not all about the details, it's just the performance more than anything. Here comes the First Great Western now, just passing by. Just passing by smoothly. Watch this, the high speed on the HST lines back in the 1970s, or mid-1970s it would have been back then. Well, the HSTs, the iconic beauties they are, and they're getting on now, they're heading towards 50 years old. From next year they will be turning 50, which is insane. But, as I said before, they are the company by GWR. I've been told over some time they're going to get sold off to an international company in parts of America, South Africa, and part of Asia, I believe. You may think, why would they sell off like British trains to another country? Well, it's because the government can decide to, they can fill their own pockets with more of their money. That's the reason why they sell them off in the first place. Well, the fact these are hybrid trains, they're the only technology of the hybrid system, but however, as I always say, that they're not the oldest trains on the line in the UK. The oldest trains running on the line are operated by freight, not by passengers. And they often criticise the trains that they run by what the government gives them. And yes, that means the company has to be forced to drive less of the nicer trains because, like I said, the government sells them off. That's why the problems with the systems nowadays with the railway industry is when everything came privatised in the mid-generation, in the early, or probably late early 1950s or 60s, around the time when Dr. Beecham decided to make the effort of decide to, instead of making everything, keep everything, owned by the government, they decided to sell a big population of the railway industry to, they decided to sell it off for profit, and obviously that meant a lot of the railways got forced into a situation with the trains and the railway industry, which meant a lot of the railway industry trains got forced into being closed down. And it meant a lot of other companies had to do the same thing. I know that sounds heartless to the British high-speed diesel electric trains, is what the HSCs are, but the government didn't care about that. They got out to their pocket with money. And over the centuries, the railway industry started collapsing down. The only one thing I can say is good, that we do have at least a few reserved HSTs. One is the Midland Foreman, the one is proposed rail, and the last one is in at York, the Intercity Ridge Rail Blue and Yellow livery HST, which is one that broke the speed record in the mid-1970s by Project Grange. And these trains, and these trains hold a massive passion for the British railway industry for about close to 50 years, but obviously in recent times with the issues going, things start to change. And obviously in that time, the government decided to rip up a lot of the railway industry because of their greediness of their ways, and a lot of things changed because they got forced, basically. They got forced to change, and obviously that meant I think the railway network across the whole UK became limited to be used by passionate people to use the railways, and for the people who actually use them for carrying freight across the network, meant they came limited because obviously in the 1970s came around, the mid-1970s, when these trains came around and they were new to the railways, the HSTs, as these ones, been loved and cared for by many companies over the years. By the early 2000s, they were only been running for about 40 years, and the private companies took over them for a little while, for about close to 50 years at this point, and obviously GWR are the last ones still running the castle sets at this moment. It's the last sets of the HSTs running on the Cornish Main Line between Plymouth and Penzance, and there's apparently hoping, or may consider, to go on one of these trains. Potentially it could be for the last time over this year, because obviously if they do get rid of them, I'm not going to have the opportunity to go on them. So it's been going on the Midland Gorman, which is the only HST passenger train in use. And it's a charter, it's not a passenger train directly. So we'll do one more round of her. Now we're going to go to the East Coast as our last one for tonight, because obviously, as I said, I'm going to keep this video short, and I will cut some of the videos out, or some of the beginning part of the video out. You guys don't have to hear me clear my throat, which won't be very appreciable. So this is my last one for the run tonight, and while she's running around, and we'll end the video off with the class 58. What did I put her? She's an LMS Brown. I left her on top of the thing. I think I did. I think she's up there still. So we'll end her off with that one, but we'll just do 2 or 3 rounds with this one, and then we'll end it off with this one, the class 58. Comes the East Coast HST. This is the one I remember going on when I was young, this one. But it wasn't in this livery, it wasn't in the silver and white, it was in the dark blue. So probably at the time it would have been XGNER, and then it came East Coast later on in 2006. So she was the one I went on for the first time. Can she go any faster in this? I can probably try to get at least one lap of her going fast past the camera in the off for the 58. I've got her maxed out right now on the controller. She's doing about a scale speed around about 124 miles an hour. That's in scale speed, mind you. She is on Newton Underlayer. Yeah, she's obviously very fast trained. They are designed for very high speeds. That's why I keep her. Well, I always keep my HST fleet looked after, because obviously I want to keep them forever. And once I got over all the scenery and the outlay of all the systems I want to go with the trains, I want to make every effort over this what's left this summer, and make a real effort to make a change for the railway on my model railway, and obviously scenery and the yards and everything else on this model railway will start to change. So while she's running around, I'm just going to grab the 58 so we can have some coaches 10 behind her. They're trying graduate jumps. The long couplings or the swing and lock couplings. My only graduate jumps then is they can be right in the bind at times, especially if they're going around a corner and they uncouple. That's the most annoying thing about them, really. And of course, being that my track is not pinned down at the moment, because obviously I can't, because I haven't got round to pinning it all down, or I haven't started really, but I'm going to make a start soon. And now she's just disconnected with her coaches, and she's derailed. Brilliant. So what I'm going to do is end it off with the Class 58, and we'll attach a couple of coaches to her of the HST coaches. I know it sounds weird, but I think just for tonight we're going to touch two of the East Coast ones, and then the Pullman at the back, which is nearly the wrong coach at the back, which is the buffet restaurant car. So we've got first class, buffet, maybe a restaurant car, and then I'm going to put the 58 onto the track. And she's going to pick the train up without any problem at all. And before I put the last two coaches on the back of the train to end the video off, pass a couple of laps around with the train, is the First Great Western coaches. I will end off very momentarily. I might do a jump and end the last few minutes off with the Class 58. I think it's the best way probably to go. Hopefully the camera can hold for a few minutes more. I'm just sorting this out. Okay, we'll finish this video off with the Class 58 with not 3 coaches, but 5. I know. And they're all different liveries. Well, those people will say, oh, you know, the Class 58 wouldn't pull the HST coaches. Actually, they did. On some occasions they did. Because they occasionally have to pick up or tow broken down Class 43 from occasionally from London's King's Cross or London Pancras. Some of the places like that back in the mid-70s, they have to tow the HST carriages on some occasions while the HSTs themselves being worked on by the workmen. So these trains were basically put into service for this particular reason. And there we go. Now, I think what would look really awesome is trying not having a Class 58 to push and pull this train. But how about this? I'll just put them back on and connect these carriages up. And let them move forward bit by bit. Connect. Connect that one up again. Just come around this time. Look at that. All 6 of them, well, all 5. But what I'm thinking this time, I'm going to take her off and end it off just with a quick flyby of the First Great Western HST from all 5 of them. Now, it might sound crazy, but in real life, these trains were capable of putting up to 9 or 12 coaches of the set. Now, that might sound mental, but in reality, the trains did cope with it pretty well. Here we go. I've got no park out the back. And she's pushing and pulling the train without any problem. There's a video to end. Just came out of my mind just towards the end of the video. Well, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a like, comment and subscribe, and turn on post notifications. You can follow me on my Instagram and Facebook page if you guys want to see any more crazy amount of videos on different type of model of trains or whatnot. She's limited now, and she's just come off, but she's fine because obviously I've checked them all over. So have a good night, and we'll see you guys in the next video, which will be, I think this one coming up on Thursday. I've got a chat video for you on Saturday. I'm overdue for one of those to be going up. Just quite frustrating to deal with. That's the only thing. Right. Peace out.